All right, November the 19th, almost 7 o'clock. This is going to be a little Manticore video here. We're going to show this M8 coil, okay? Manticore users it on the M9 and the M11 can experiment with their coils if they like what they see in this video, okay? Now, I showed something like that yesterday. You see that go ring right there? Now remember, you've got people out there still running FBS units, okay, that are dependent upon the ID. Some of them, they're not dig-all detectorists. All right. They could sweep that situation, see an ID that maybe they're on a go ring crusade. The ID's too high for them. That ain't no go ring. But it's not reading high enough to be a high conductive coin. So they blow right by it. Okay? You see how that works? Your job as a detectorist, especially if you're hunting in a site where other people have been, is to exploit the possible errors they have made with their equipment set up or their just whatever. So, you know, you got different kinds of people out there. You got the dig-alls, and then you got the people that maybe they spend a lot of money on a machine. Oh, I don't have to dig everything with this one. I'll just depend solely on the ID, and they'll be successful at times, but they could slip up and leave that go ring. Okay, so I've got the M8 coil, and again, you can practice with your M9 if you have it in your M11. I've done looked at the M9. All right. So, we are in all-terrain low conductor, speed 5. One region, all tones. So that's a fairly high ID for a lot of gold rings. And you hear that audio. You might not even suspect there's two targets there, huh? And you blow right by it. Now, twist caps are a popular item in sights, okay? And they can be lost a month ago. And the next day, a gold ring could be dropped right by it, even in the grass. Lost. Or it could be in the sight for a while. Okay, so you heard the one region L tones. We're going over here to 5 tones. Now, let me scroll across here. You see that number 50? I've got that bend there terminated at 50. That might not be a bad way to run this machine in a park, sports field, if you're on a gold ring crusade. Okay, now could this net you a nickel even that's hid, possibly? Now listen. You hear that? Your meter ID, you know, your meter ain't changed, but you've got that audio now. You're like, uh-oh, what's that? And you see that stretch trace. So that is far more exposing that versus one region all tones. Correct? So here's 5 tones again. You hear that. Let's remove this gold ring. What does it sound like now? You hear that. Let's put the gold ring back. You see it there? That's pretty close to that aluminum twist cap. You hear that. Now that's all-terrain low conductors. Let's slide over here to all-terrain general. We'll go back to speed 5. One region, all tone. So you hear that? That's not exposing two targets there very good, is it? And twist caps are a popular thing in a sight. Lots of times, boys. Okay, so now we're going to go over here to 5 tones. I'm going to scroll through the screen here. I think I've got it right. Yeah, see that T3N number 50. Okay? You hear that? So you know you've got all kinds of people out there. They're all sometimes can be on different missions. High conductive coins, silver rings. Maybe they're looking for gold. Maybe they're looking for both. But they might deem that target based on maybe some gold rings they've tested. They could slip by that, huh? One region, all tones, you know, that's not too telling on that, is it? That 5 tones there, though, captures it, don't it? It's telling you, wait a minute, I've got low and high tone in that audio. Put the brakes on. Now, remember, you know, you're hunting in public sites. You know, I give people credit. You know, they're out there and they're looking for stuff. But would it be a reasonable assumption to make, if the site has been hunted fairly hard, what's left in there is what? Something's wrong with it, right? Maybe it's that twist cap by that ring there. Let's turn this camera off just for a moment. All right, camera back on. I traded it out. Now we got a little smashed Dr. Pepper there by that gold ring. We're still in the general program, all-terrain general, speed 5, 5 tones. You hear that? One region, all tones. Speed 6, one region, all tones. How you like the sound of that? Five tones. Speed 6. You hear that? You see that meter? So you got a zinc and penny looking ID in there, huh? You got that stretch trace, so that audio is drawing your attention. It stopped you. Then you start looking at that trace. Oh, what is that? Solo zinc and pennies don't sound like that, do they? Don't think so. There's a solo zinc and penny. What does it sound like here? You see what I'm talking about? 50 might be a good place to be on this machine for that tone bend breakage, but do your own experiments. Now, I've looked at the M9 Coil. I've not looked at the M11 too much. Okay, so if you own those coils and you want to try an experiment like that, because that's something that could be happening in the wild out there, and there could be some people blowing by that shit. Remember, if there's something left in a site that's been hard hunted, that might be what it is. Now, that could be can slaw down there by that too. It could be a nickel, I guess. You see what I'm saying? It could be any other lower conductor that will this machine will actually hear to make that tone, give that little jingle. Hear that? One region all tones on that. You hear that? That's general program. Look at that. See there? That reads just that sounds like a zinking, don't it? Look at that. Look at that meter. A person could get confused, couldn't they? One sweep of the call, they glance down. One sweep, oh, that's a zinking. I'm walking. I'm not digging that bullshit. That ain't a gold ring. That ain't even a clad dime. The name of the game for you is to try to capitalize on mistakes and methods that other people have maybe utilized with their equipment. And in the end, you come out the winner. Sounds sort of, don't sound like I'm a very nice man, does it? Well, boys, I'm just letting you know, okay? There's competition out there for you as a metal detectorist. Name of the game is to outfox them. How's that sound? That is going to conclude the video.